How can you beat a boxer if you're more like a brawler or you're less like technical of a boxer? Like the sweet science. Well, you say, screw all the rules of your science. I'm going to take this jab and I'm going to stick it in there harder and stiffer. This is your first sponsored spot, right? You haven't done this sort of thing yet, have you? This video is brought to you by the Phoenix. Do you know what this is? It's a sonic wave device. Do you know what it does?
Oh, and now it looks like a weapon.
You think it's a weapon? This is not a weapon. This is a tool for your weapon. We're talking about making things stiffer and straighter. This is a treatment to increase blood flow to an area.
Oh.
It works on acoustic wave therapy. Acoustic wave therapy is just like sound waves, which is like accepted to treat blood flow issues of all types. This is the other part of it. I will not be demonstrating this part. There's a link down below if you want to understand how this stuff works. But go check out the website. It's cool because the website doesn't do, they're very confident. Normally, I was expecting that website to be like kind of sketchy and vague. It's neither sketchy nor vague. They make it very clear what it does and how it can help. Go click the link down below. Stiffening up that jab, making it stiffer, straighter, so you can stick it in there. The problem is when people want to make their jab stiffer, what they'll do is they will throw it in a loop. You guys have seen this telegraph. Beginners do this. Subconsciously, you're trying to conserve energy and throw harder. That's not the key. When you want to output some power, we're going to have to use a little bit of fuel to do it along with technique. One super obvious way is just to step. I'm out of range with my jab, and I just want to step and throw that jab and stick it in there. Hopefully, right between his gloves, right between his guard, or to the body. The difference for me, when I want to throw a jab a little harder, is I just think about my arm a little more. Like my jab is always, even when I step, my arm is not super involved in it. But when I know that I'm going to land and I want to hurt the person, I just put a little bit more of my arm into it. You don't use your arm to punch. Don't punch with your arm. Okay, don't use your arm. I use my arms to punch. I use my whole body to punch. Part of my whole body is arms. Where you got the idea not to use your arm to punch is because when you first started to learn how to punch, you were using too much of your arm, so your coach told you to stop using your arm. But you used your arm to punch. But I'm going to show you like some dirty, secret, little tricky stuff that's kind of not textbook. I didn't invent any of it. Well, I did invent one thing. I'm going to show you. I call it lubing up the jab. I'm going to show you how to lube up the jab here at the end. But like literally lubing up the jab. But one real stiff jab that I like to do is from a real low squat like this. Maybe I've gone high, low, boom, boom, boom. I changed levels. He reads body shot. This is where his intention is. And did you see what his posture did? He hunched maybe he might have even dropped his hands, but he brought his belly back. He thinks it's that body shot. And I'm going to push off of this leg. This is a push. This is more on that stuff that people are going to have a problem with because I'm essentially pushing this punch. I'm going to push this punch, right? I'm not going to snap, bam, right? I'm not going to flick. I'm literally going to shove this punch. Now what that'll do is even if they cover up, I apologize in advance, sir. Even if they cover up real tight and you push this in, it's unpleasant. Their gloves will go all in their nose. They get mashed. They get off balance. You're gonna drop and push hard. It's gonna go through.
But you know how to use this, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, just.
No, it's not gonna hurt you.
Right. Okay, yeah. And do you want me to demonstrate or?
No, I don't want you to demonstrate. Don't demonstrate with it. This is mine. Only I use that one.
All right.
The only thing that was a little off-putting was the how-to video where they show you actually like how to use it. There's some uncanny valley stuff going on there. I would have rather them use the real one or like a banana, but they used a fake one. So like this tells you do it on top, and then as this moves, when it's halfway, you're halfway down, and when it's all the way down, you're all the way down, and then all the way up. You move it along, and then it does it 10 times, and then it goes to the next sector, and you go up and down that 10 times.
For beginners, especially when you guys are throwing your stiff jab, a lot of guys like to kind of cock it back a little bit and throw it. You kind of want to do it like you're smacking a whip, all right? And then towards the end of it, that's when you want to lock it. So just still keep your hands here. Don't worry about doing this because you're telegraphing. Keep it right here. Just, just relax your shoulders, like kind of whip it out there. Whip it out, and at the last minute, or at the last second, you're going to stiffen it up.
Ooh. Right. But I do want to pull my shoulder back. I want to make my jab more like a cross. So how do you make your jab like a cross? I have to cover with regular jabs, use it to get my feet, square my shoulders up, and now I've turned this more into a lead straight than a jab. This has more in common with my cross now because my shoulders have gone to here and made both hands heavy.
So another way you can get that lead hand loaded up is to go for your two, or at least pretend you're throwing a two, and then just stiffen it out there. Boom.
Yeah, that lets him pull it back. So you can disguise it. You can disguise a telegraph or a load as long as you're doing something else, whether it's the footwork or in this case that punch. He shows me that punch, and now he's loaded up. Look, he's coiled, and that's turned that jab now into a very powerful punch. But I promised y'all some dirty, filthy shit, and this is the dirtiest, filthiest stuff. One preface to this. This is one circumstance where I do like a vertical jab. If I just throw a vertical jab, that's a fine punch. There's nothing wrong with that. And in fact, if their gloves are up, it can slide through the guard more easily. But there's a mean little thing you can do, even in boxing gloves, right at the end. When I hit that vertical, you put those gloves down, we're going to assume that I just slice through those like butter. I'm going to show you how to lube up and get through there here in a second. But I push out, and then without having to lean or do any more like leaning or extending or anything, I can take this and I just turn that like that. Now there's probably some kung fu nerd down there that's going to tell me that that's a thing is it in Jeet Kune Do, or it seems kung fu-ish. But this, look, I'm just barely touching him. That adds that extra few little millimeters, and then if you do that at impact, boom, you're adding a little bit of pop. And if you get real lucky, and you're being a real asshole, your thumb gets in there, right? Which is unfucking pleasant.
Never seen that before.
What? Oh, you've seen it before. You've seen that one a bunch of times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, from this perspective. Booyah!
So you're just twisting your wrist?
Yeah, you just like if you were swinging a weapon. Yeah, so like hit me right here. Boom. But do it without. And I do it with. Feel that little extra, you get a little extra penetration with that extra little, haters gonna say it's fake, but whatever. But how do we split that guard and get that thing in here? I'm gonna describe to you a technique I call lubing up the jab, which is where you're in the middle of a good sparring round, you got a good sweat going, they're tight guarded, you're having trouble getting through there. You take your glove, you rub that sucker across your forehead, collect a bunch of sweat off of it, and then pop that thing right through there. It works. That's a really dirty trick. That's a dirty secret. I've never shared that with anyone.
That's very dirty. I've never seen that shit before. Have you been doing this whole time?
Yes.
Jesus.
Why do you think those jabs have been slapped? I think I invented that one. I think that's another original. Shout out to our sponsor, the Phoenix. Make sure you go check out that link down below if you're having problems, and even if you're not having problems, because with the acoustic waves, you can just use them on, like it's not like a medicine where, if you take a medicine and you don't have that problem, the medicine's bad for you. You know what I mean? This is just a bonus. It's just a bonus for your, yeah. It slides right through, dude. Slides right through.
Especially like ground and pound, if like someone's like,
dude, yeah. You could be like pounding a dude out and be like,
and there,
right. Get some sweat on there. Boom, boom. Lube that thing up, because I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to lick your gloves.
Some bio warfare MMA fight.
And if it goes in his eyes, it goes in his eyes.
I thought I've seen it all. I thought I've seen
like every
stuff.
trick, every dirty thing.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's so weird, man. And then the whole added inch to the.
Dude, I've been doing that shit for 2 years.
For 2 years?
Yeah.
You never told me about this, man?
I told you in the language of fisticuffs.